Hello, guys. Welcome back to BoreDraw, and we're back with another little video. Today is a big one. We're both very nervous for this. It's
England.
bloody England versus France coming up on Saturday, and we're here to give you a little preview, give you some of our thoughts prior to the game. Um, we'll start it off by just discussing the two previous games around the 16s. Obviously, France playing Poland, England versus Senegal. We'll start with France. That was the early kickoff, 3-1 victory over Poland. Kind of the Mbappe show. I think it's a name that's going to pop up a lot during this conversation.
Yeah.
So, for me, Poland, the 3-1 scoreline is actually pretty harsh on Poland. I think
I
what we
think it's the
saw.
same with the Senegal game. I think both England and France come out looking quite good with the results, but it wasn't like a 3-0 and a 3-1, really. Both games were pretty tight. And like you said, I think Poland can feel quite hard done by the scoreline. It was a lot of Mbappe magic. But for like the first 20, 30 minutes, Poland were putting some decent pressure on France. And yeah, and then obviously Mbappe kind of just took the game by the scruff of the neck and killed it off. But yeah, I think it was quite a good game to kind of gauge what France are good at and what they could probably, as an opponent, you probably go for if you were coming up against France.
Yeah, I think especially in the France versus Poland game, it was moments of brilliance from exceptional players, which were like was the main difference. Obviously, Lewandowski scored that retaken penalty in the 99th minute, I think it was.
Such a
Um,
shit first pen. Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
I mean that's a bit of a trend at the minute. We're recording
So
this
many
literally
bad.
after the penalty shootout in the Morocco game. Um, and yeah, I mean after the Japan penalties as well,
Mate,
Spain's
I feel
penalties
like
were
you would just
terrible.
train penalties because you know that worst case scenario will end up in a penalty shootout. Why don't you just do a decent amount of drills and also just fucking leather the pen? Like stop
Yeah, if
kind of
you're
trying to pace it.
unsure, like yeah, just let the ball do its thing, I
Yeah.
guess. But
Anyway,
I think apparently Luis Enrique told the media that Spain trained 1,000 penalties before this World Cup.
nice.
But we're not
Doing
here to
very
talk about
well.
Spain. We're here
Nah,
to talk
fuck
about
them.
France. Giroud also breaking the great Thierry Henry's record, getting his 52nd goal for France.
Yeah, bless him. That
Underrated?
record
Yeah, I
isn't going to
think so.
last long, though, is it? With Mbappe around, he'll fucking
Yeah, he's
be
smashing
on
it
that
already. He's got
immediately.
more World Cup goals than like Pele already,
Yeah.
which is insane. Um, but yeah, Mbappe obviously getting the assist on the first goal. Um, a great little pass from Mbappe, and the touch from Giroud is pretty mental. I think his technical side of the game is very underrated. He's not just
Yeah.
a henchman who can head a goal in. He's very good
So,
technically.
where do you think, as England, we try and attack this France team?
So I think what we've done very well in this World Cup so far is we've picked our moments to attack.
Mm.
So when a lot of the game you'll see England, we really slow it down, and we're sat at home watching, thinking, "Fucking get up the pitch! Come on, let's go at them." But I think it's really smart what we've done. We have controlled pretty much every game apart from the US game, um, and Wales never really looked like scoring. Senegal had a few opportunities quite early on, but after that we settled into it. I mean, they came out the blocks fast and hard, Senegal, so
Yeah.
I think that was a bit of a shock to us. Obviously, we can't get away with that against a team like France, but
Yeah.
I think we've been really good at controlling games. I think we've like Senegal. I think had 10 shots in that game, and with one on target, and I
Yeah.
think that was that brilliant save from Pickford.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Strong hand.
So we're limiting their opportunities, so they're having to take these pot shots. And I mean, obviously against France, you've got players the likes of Griezmann, Dembele, Mbappe. You know, even like someone like Tuchemeni can hit it. So Rabiot. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we won't get away with letting them leather it from that far out every time. But I think that's something we've been really good at. I think it's going to definitely come down to that battle on the from France's perspective, the left hand side of the pitch is going to be Kyle Walker versus Mbappe.
Yeah.
So if you look at the heat map from the France Poland game, or their pass map, actually, sorry, everything went through basically the Mbappe side.
Yeah.
Or
And
Griezmann come along
Dembele's
to
like
left a
super
lot.
isolated by himself.
Super
Yeah.
isolated. But that also is a danger because if we get drawn too far across, one release from a talented player,
Yeah.
they've got pretty much everyone in their squad can spray a ball, and they spray it over to Dembele, and then he's isolated against Luke Shaw out there.
And he's
Luke
one of the
Shaw's
best
tracking back.
one-on-one wingers in the world. In my opinion, him and Bukayo Saka are the two best players at sizing up their defender one-on-one and skinning them.
Yeah,
And obviously, Luke Shaw's off the back of not that great a season at Man United, and he's kind of in the team because Ben Chilwell isn't fit. And so, if I was France, as good as Mbappe is, and he will be probably their main threat, targeting Kyle Walker. Everybody knows Kyle Walker's defensive solidity is like top tier. And so I think there's going to be a lot of joy on Dembele's side and him kind of trying to isolate Luke Shaw. So that's something that I think we'll need to be aware of, especially because that side doesn't fill me with much confidence. I know Harry Maguire's had a really good tournament so far, but Dembele up against them two, that's definitely the weaker side for us.
especially with Griezmann floating in behind. I mean, you saw for one of the Mbappe goals where Giroud drops in between both the centre backs and draws them out and
Yeah,
creates a lot of space for Mbappe to get the shot off. And something like that is I think England are very susceptible to. You
yeah,
know,
100%.
Harry Maguire or John Stones quickly looking over the shoulder, seeing Giroud, not realising where the other one is or where Declan Rice
You know,
is.
Harry
And then,
Maguire is
but
definitely susceptible to that.
yeah, I mean, and it's really harsh to say because he's had a
Oh
fantastic
yeah, he's had a
tournament,
really good tournament,
and
but
we're both very
one
much
lapse
here
of
for the redemption arc.
concentration. Yeah,
Yeah, and we saw it against Senegal. And do you know what? I don't even want to really talk about it, but obviously he had that kick which almost hit the Senegal player,
mm.
um, the failed clearance. And I mean, for the rest of the tournament, he's been brilliant, and I can
Yeah,
nitpick
yeah, hundred
like
percent.
that for every single player. So don't feel like I'm coming at Harry Maguire at all. But we
No, we
can't
love
really
Harry
afford
Mags
to
in the
do that.
England top.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. He's been fantastic. So it's been one of the highlights of the tournament for me actually seeing his redemption. But yeah, so we've highlighted that sort of Mbappe side. Carl Walker is probably the most equipped right back in the footballing world to deal with Mbappe.
Yeah,
But I still worry. I still worry because
yeah,
that man is a menace.
and I think my worry is that firstly, is Kyle Walker even like 100% fit? Maybe not. And Mbappe is on like top form, so I know it came out in the media that he's missed training, but it's probably just a precaution. But I think, yeah, if you've got a not definitely fit Kyle Walker, up against high flying Mbappe, it could be a bit of a long day, which I think um, which means Bukayo Saka will definitely be starting. I think
He's our
because
best defense. He's like in
his
terms
work
of
rate on
tracking
that
back.
right
Yeah,
hand side, yeah, will be key. And people like Marcus Rashford and Phil Foden out there, as good as they are, I don't think any of them offer the defensive solidity that Saka does, and he's still like delivering attacking returns majorly. So I think for me, Saka has to start, and a
yeah,
Saka, Kyle Walker right hand side, hopefully with, and we'll get onto our lineups and stuff, but with one of the midfielders helping out as well. I think Mbappe is a three man job, and so hopefully three man are around him.
yeah. We saw Poland actually doubling up quite a lot on Mbappe, and his game sense was good enough that he knows to where to move in order to draw them out. And half the time he doesn't even do that; he just goes pot through them.
Yeah, he's crazy.
And it's that instant. He just knocks it past him, and it's that instant acceleration. Goes from
Mm.
0 to 100, and yeah, there's nothing you can really do about it. Um, but yeah, and someone else I want to talk about as well, Olivier Giroud. He's proven to a lot of people who probably doubted his caliber of player. He's shown everyone that he's almost as good as Benzema at the minute
Yeah,
for me.
and I
Anyway,
see so
and I
many
think
like
he
France outlets saying that they're happy, not happy, but like happy that Benzema's been injured because with Benzema in the team, I don't think you unlock the same kind of output from Dembele and Mbappe that you do with Giroud in the team. He is such a great facilitator, and I think he does a lot of what I want Harry Kane to do more of for England. He doesn't drop back. He is always just occupying the two centre backs, and that's what I want Harry Kane to do more of. Harry Kane, and I know his playmaking ability is really good, but we've got players that can do that. And what Giroud does so well is occupy defenders and allow the wingers to kind of isolate their fullbacks one on one. And that's what we've got in wingers like Sterling, Rashford, Saka. They can isolate wingers, but we need Harry Kane to hold the defenders more.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying there. I do. I think sometimes why we struggle to break down teams is because when Harry Kane does drop back into that sort of attacking midfielder role where he's trying to facilitate a play, he's trying to be the creative spark, and he is excellent at it. He is
Yeah,
really,
yeah,
really good. However, our wingers play very wide, and thus their centre backs don't feel the need to then press up. And if one of them presses up, by the time that Harry's got the ball in his turn, he's looking for that pass. Unless they're playing really like a quite a high line, we don't have that player running in behind them straight away to be able to get that ball from Harry. So it, it does sort of work to our benefit and our disadvantage at times, depending on how teams set up against us. Where if Harry Kane does play on the shoulder a bit more, which isn't his speciality, someone like Callum Wilson could come in and do that potentially later on in the game. But if we did have that, then we've got players like James Maddison on the bench. We've got players like Mason Mount even who can play that 10 role. Even Phil
mm,
Foden can drop into the 10, and then they will be able to play that pass and we'll have that person pushing the line. So then we create a bit more of a gap between their defence and their midfield to play around in and asking questions of their centre backs. Are you going to come forward? Are you going to allow me to get that ball around you into my
yeah,
running wing? And we saw Callum Wilson do that quite a couple of times off the bench. And especially with the one where he squared it to Jack Grealish for the goal. So we saw like Callum Wilson is a brilliant asset to have off the bench as well. Um, but yeah, and the last player I want to highlight for France at the minute, Antoine Griezmann.
yeah. Top
He's
player.
had a
He's the kind of player that I'm like when you brought up Madison and Foden and Mount. That is what Grealish. That is what Griezmann is doing for France. He's just playing that 10 role so well,
he floats,
and
doesn't he?
he's so good at it. And between him and Giroud, they've got such a good like partnership, and that's what I think England once. I think none of us expected four at the back this tournament, and so we haven't really played enough with four at the back, and definitely haven't played enough with four at the back and kind of like a
A
floating
10.
number 10.
Yeah.
And so I think once Gareth, I don't know if he's going to still be in the job post this tournament, but whoever does, if it's Gareth or if it's someone else, if we continue forward at the back and start implementing a floating number 10, hopefully they build up a relationship with Harry Kane that is in the kind of similar vein to what Giroud and Griezmann have, because that relationship has been going on for about 6 years now. They've played together at last World Cup, last Euros, and so that and yeah, so that's the kind of thing I want. Be it Madison and Kane, be it I don't know fucking Foden and Kane. I think we need to get to a stage where we have that kind of fixed number 10 that is there every tournament and has that kind of England relationship with Kane, like Giroud and Griezmann, because their link up is outrageous.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. Just obviously they don't play together at club level,
Yeah,
but they both fully understand what each other wants to do. And I think the way that Giroud plays, facilitating Mbappe, creating space for him and Dembele to get into those dangerous positions, those half spaces. With Griezmann on top of that, you never know where he's going to pop up. And his technical side is just excellent. He can absolutely hit a ball. He's got an absolutely fantastic goal scoring record. Not so much recently for France, but we know he can definitely score a goal when they need it. So him
yeah,
popping up in those free spaces as well, just it creates a bit of uncertainty, which makes me worry how England would deal with it. Um, we can move on to sort of our predicted lineups, I think, because then we can
yeah. We'll
discuss
talk through
sort of.
some like England players, and so my first question to you is: does Jordan Henderson start?
Oh, do you know what? It's a difficult one. Shall I run you through my starting 11 if I was Gareth Southgate?
Okay, well I'll quickly do mine because mine is literally just keep it the same as the Senegal game.
So you're going back to a four. You're staying with a four at the back.
Yeah, Jordan Henderson, Declan Rice, Jude, and then Foden, Bukayo, and Harry Kane.
See, I think we might fall back on old habits and revert to the three centre backs.
The squash game.
Um, and I think that we might. So I believe it might be a case where we've got Pickford in goal still. Obviously, he's not getting dropped,
Get
and I think
Ramos in.
he's going to double up on that Mbappe side with
Yeah, to be
Trippier
fair.
playing the right back role and then Walker playing that right centre back. And I think,
Do you reckon? Surely it'd be Carl Walker playing right centre back out of either of them,
yeah,
no?
that's what I said, right?
No, I think you said the other way around.
Trippier playing the right back role and then Carl Walker playing the right centre back.
Nah, you said it the other way, but it's okay. I get what you
Yeah,
mean.
and then John Stones in the middle, obviously
Yeah.
Maguire out on the left hand side, and then Shaw as the left back. And then I think I don't think he could drop Bellingham. I
Not
don't
after
think you
that game.
can.
It was like man of the
So
match.
I think we might see Rice and Bellingham deployed in like a sort of, but Bellingham's going to be playing a little bit deeper, and then we're going to be Saka, Kane, and Foden up top.
Interesting.
I I would like to see us stick with the four at the back. I'd like to see us, because I think that's when we play our best football.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if we do drop to this back to the
Yeah, no, I do agree.
comforts.
There is a chance. The fear factor might be too much.
And it's not the worst idea doubling
Nah,
up on Mbappe with Carl Walker and Trippier. I think
especially
that's
at this stage of the tournament, it's like you've got through the group stages, you got through the first knockout round. Now it is just staying in the game and ticking off games until you get to the final. Like the next
yeah,
couple, and the next couple will be against big countries where you might not have. So against Senegal, we had like 60% possession. We're not going to get that against France. It's probably going to be 50-50. We might even be like 40-60. So
yeah.
it's about staying in the game. It's about being what Gareth has been from day one,
Get
defensively
to
solid
half
first,
time at 0-0
and then
or
move
1 up.
forward. So
Yeah. And I
I
mean,
think five of
we've
that wouldn't be
literally
a
conceded
nightmare.
one goal this entire tournament. Sorry, 3 goals this entire tournament. We've kept.
Most clean
Oh
sheets, score most
no.
goals,
We've only conceded 2 goals, right? It was only in the Iran game.
and we only
So we've got
concede. Two
yeah.
from
So
Mediterranean. Yeah,
so we got 3 clean sheets on the bounce, and yeah. I mean, I think like I say, it's very much Gareth Southgate to be defensively solid and then build off of that, because we will get chances. We have, with the players we have, especially in that attacking line and Bellingham in midfield, we will generate ourselves chances. And
yeah,
against France, you're not going to expect to have the same amount as you did against Wales or Iran or against Senegal.
no.
But we've got the personnel up there who will take it.
I hope we. This is the kind of thing that we didn't do enough of in Senegal game. Is Edouard Mendy was having a stinker of a tournament, and we
Stop it.
didn't take enough just didn't test him enough. And I want us to do that with Hugo Lloris because I don't back him as a goalkeeper at all, as I've said many times on the podcast. So if I was the manager, I'd be like, mate, just fucking. Surely Harry Kane must know this from Spurs training. Just must be in the back of his mind. Lloris is a stinker, and just start firing
If it goes
40
to penalties,
yarders.
though, who are you backing? Harry Kane or Lloris?
It's got to be Harry Kane. Harry Kane doesn't miss a pen.
Yeah. Um, for me, there is one potential weak point in that France team. Actually, maybe two, but the main one that for me is Jules Koundé filling that in at right back.
Yeah, I was going to say Jules
Um,
Koundé. Do you reckon they start with Pavard, or do you reckon Koundé definitely
I'm not
starts?
entirely sure why he didn't play the last game. I don't
I
know if
think
it
he's just
was.
been dropped.
Yeah, I don't think he was particularly bad in any of
No,
the other
neither did
games
I.
either. But yeah, Koundé
I think they
is,
just conceded a few more chances, whereas like Koundé is defensively more solid than Pavard.
and I think like maybe defensively he might be better, and maybe that is part of their game plan, is to sort of widen that width between him and that gap between him and Dembele. So Dembele has more free space, and then Shaw will think, oh, there's loads of space there. I could push up into that. And then we play up the left hand side, and then suddenly you've got the wall that is Jules Koundé in your
Yeah,
way. And then once you've overloaded that side, you've got just tons of space for Mbappe to run into, and no one's catching him. Maybe not even Kyle Walker. So yeah, it'll be very interesting to see. But I think that is a weak point, and I would personally like us to go with 4-3-3, and I would like us to win that midfield battle.
I was going to say, is the midfield the other point of weakness that you think for France? The two
Yeah,
in midfield.
I
Obviously,
think
Tchouaméni, quality player,
very
but
very good.
Rabiot is a good player. But I think a lot of people before this tournament started didn't have him even in the France squad. He's been in and
He
out of the
plays a
Juve
very
team.
strange role for them. He's a very aggressive sort of like number 8, and
Yeah,
sort of he will always arrive on the edge of the box, and he loves to get himself into that like that penalty area and
yeah.
just like see what he can do. He's a bit of a menace, but I do think that is a place where we can hurt them. Because
100%.
if
And
we
yeah,
can
like
get
you
the
said, if we
control of
play the three in the middle, even if it is Henderson, one thing Henderson does is he works hard.
and he
And
makes the people around him work harder.
so even if we're technically not better in midfield, if we're working harder than them, I think we win that midfield battle. And that is a very good place to be if you're dominating the midfield.
And I think if we start with Henderson, we have the option to bring on someone like Calvin Phillips. And if we are losing that midfield battle, the term I'd like to use for him, he's a disruptor. He will cut those passing lanes. He will hassle players to
Mm.
make quick passes. And obviously France have got the quality in there to be able to deal with that. But all it takes is one loose pass, and we've seen it. Like for the Harry Kane goal, Bellingham, it's a sort of a loose touch from a Senegal player, and then Bellingham heads the ball away from him, charges through the middle of the pitch, like skirts around one guy, and then
Bloody
plays out to
dude.
Foden.
Yeah.
And then Foden plays a brilliant pass. Harry Kane, great touch and a great finish. And so we've got that ability to, if Phillips is hassling them, they make a reactionary pass, a little bit too short or something, bad touch. Bellingham or Phillips will be on them, and we've got that ability to break from the middle now.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
I think maybe I don't know if Henderson can be dropped because I do think I think we are maybe a better team with him in the middle because if you watch the USA game, he like no one in that midfield was running. We got outworked in the middle.
Oh, yeah,
Whereas
exactly. And
when
that's what I
Henderson's
want us to
on,
do to
he makes
France.
he makes Bellingham like he provides that leadership in the middle of the park. You've
Yeah,
got Harry
yeah.
Kane at
He's
the top
like a
who's the
manager on the
captain,
pitch. Yeah,
and then
100%.
you've got a loud guy like Pickford at the back, but we've got someone in the middle now who can do it. And even if he's not going to play those stunning through balls, he's still not a bad player to have
No, no,
as
no.
your asset. And I
And as you
think
saw, he got in the box at the right time in the Senegal game, got himself a goal, and he does take shots. And so, yeah, I wouldn't be mad if we start Henderson, and I think we
yeah,
probably will. I think we'll go unchanged. But like you
yeah,
said,
I
if we
think we
do
might
play
go
five at the
unchanged,
back
but yeah.
and probably drop Henderson, it could work as well. I think those are the two likeliest scenarios.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Um, for in terms of France, I think they're going to field a pretty much unchanged lineup. I don't. Maybe Pavard comes in for
Yeah, that's the only
Koundé,
one I
just
can
provide a
see.
bit
Yeah,
more of an attacking threat and target that right hand side a bit more with the likes of Maguire and Shaw. But
yeah,
I think for me, yeah, it probably does come down to that midfield battle and how we deal with containing Mbappe. Because I don't. I think if you think too much about it, he's going to get the better of you.
yeah, yeah.
If you focus on cutting off his service and the routes that he likes to receive the ball from, then I think you're gonna have a better chance of because once he gets the ball, there's
Yeah, you're
very
fucked.
little you can do. And we saw that he scored two fantastic like got in the box, a little jink pass player and put it in
His
the top
goals were
corner.
outrageous.
Yeah,
There's
and the
one he
fact
like
he's keeping
shapes
it that
up to
low,
whip it in the far post, drills it near post,
yeah,
and so the
sends
next
people the wrong
goal they
way.
block off the near post and he fucking whips it far post. Geezer
And
can do
it was
everything.
literally the tightest in the top hand corner you could ever get it. Like,
Yeah, crazy
yeah, it was
guy.
unbelievable. But yeah, I mean, should we do a little score prediction? Put
Yeah,
our
let's
money where
get
our
it.
mouth is.
Let's get it.
Oh,
Who do you want? Who shall I go first?
you if you want to, yeah, yeah, sure.
I'm gonna go 1-1 France in extra time.
That would be a sour one. But
It
I
would be
mean,
sad. It would be sad.
yeah, I mean, to be honest, if we can beat France,
Then we win the whole
that,
thing.
then we can win this whole tournament.
Yeah, easy.
I mean, obviously we saw Brazil do very well last night. And Netherlands sort of did what we couldn't do against the US, but Spain are out. Anyone can beat anyone. I don't see why we can't beat France, but I am fearful. I'm gonna back the boys.
Let's go. Someone had to. You're in an England top.
If we get into half time without conceding, I think we've got a very good chance. But it's those opening 20 minutes that worry me.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go for a 1-0 win.
1-0 England.
And I think it might come from a set piece.
The big
I think
Harry Mags.
I think it might be like Harry Mags or Stones doing a bit of business from a header. We haven't have we scored from a corner yet?
Nah, not in this tournament.
I don't think so. But yeah, I think we might fall back on old habits and
Love it.
rely on our good old secret weapon.
We'll
So yeah,
take
I'm gonna go
whatever we
for
can get.
England late on in the second half, probably around the 78th minute, leaving to a nervy last 10.
Love that.
Yeah, but let us know what you guys think down below.
Yeah, follow us on
Um,
our socials. Tweet us what you think the scores will be.
yeah, let us know who you would start. Give
We
us your
want some belief
lineups. Yeah, and back the boys,
because
whether
I'm
you're
not.
French or English.
No,
Yeah,
I'll back the boys, just not right now.
yeah, he's gone head over heart. He has.
If the
But
boys
yeah,
win, I'll back them all the way to the final. Let's go.
I'm glad to hear it, man. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Remember, yeah, to follow all our socials. Everything's down in the description below. Get involved. We're nearing the end of the World Cup already, man. It feels like we've only got another 2
Games have
weeks or
been
so.
coming thick and fast.
The game starts slowing down now, so we'll
Yeah,
probably be dropping
hopefully
a few more
yeah,
preview videos and everything.
that's the
So,
aim.
but yeah, thanks for watching, guys. It's been BoreDraw, and it's live.
Laters.